LG V30 has been phenomenal so far. I haven't seen any issues with it or even anything wrong with the battery, as I've been getting about 7 hours of screen on time. With RAM management, it's awesome. I've also been loving how premium it feels. So, sometimes I do get like 5-6 hours, but sometimes I also get 7 hours. And I know this seems weird, but I've been using it a lot more today, hence you can see the different percentages of the battery of it. So that's why that may look a little bit different. But in terms of everything for real, I have been getting about like 7 hours of screen on time usually. So I have no complaints about how light it is compared to what other people have been complaining about how light it is. I love that it is light. Usually a heavy phone makes my pants fall a little because I'm too skinny for most pants. And the fact that I can throw it in my pocket and not worry about anything at all, even with a case, with it being too heavy or not. So you can just pick up any case, even if it seems like it may be a little bulky. You're not have to worry about the phone feeling like heavier in the pocket. It'll feel light. It's nice. And for 6 inches, I've seen some people complain that they don't like to feel the size or the weight of the S8 Plus. I saw one person complain to me about it. And with this feels lighter than the S8 in my opinion. And I love how it looks. The all-glass designated design, really, like all glass throughout the whole freaking design. And then the metal bezels, I don't know what to call them, the metal sides. Along with the bezel-less design with maybe, if I double tap that, maybe there's a bezel over here and a bezel up there, and there's like slim bezels over there. The bezel-less 18:9 aspect ratio design makes it feel really premium. Of course, I also use the iPhone 7 Plus, or at least the OnePlus 5 II, or at least I have been using the 7 Plus. Not recently though. Well, I still technically have, but not like as a main phone. And then my OnePlus 5 as a main phone, and I really think that this feels a lot more premium. Like the OnePlus 5 costs like $500-600, whatever. And I thought it was like a premium phone. Then I felt this, and I'm like, well, what's so premium about other phones when this one has like an 18:9 aspect ratio? Because I know, like, I've seen 18:9, I'm like, blah, but now that I use it, I like it. It makes you feel immersed in your games. But I love the screen size, and the bezel-less design does make the phone feel refreshed, even if I have used phones with 6-inch displays and I've reviewed them too. But before we continue on, make sure that down below you hit that bell icon, because there's a glitch that's been happening with YouTube where people haven't been notified of a lot of videos. So hit the bell icon now so you're notified of all my videos. So let's just talk about the specifications. So this phone right here has 4 GB of RAM, Snapdragon 835. So the first two are typical for a flagship device. And the V30 has 64 GB of storage, which is available on Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and all the carriers that actually sell it. And with the Sprint version is the V30 Plus, which is the version I have because I wanted to go with that more storage. I got 128 GB of storage, plus you can have up to a 2 TB SD card inside of the phone. But right now I think like the max is like 450 or something like that. But it's crazy that you can have up to 2 TB. I don't know how they rate that, but for some reason that's what they say. And for the cameras itself, so the rear cameras is a 16 megapixel main shooter with an f1.6 aperture. And the wide angle is a 13 megapixel camera with an f1.9 aperture, and I think these are awesome. And then it has the laser autofocus, and then like if you look, there is laser autofocus, and then you have your flash too. And then the front camera is a 5 megapixel with an f2.2, and you can do a little bit of wide angle and regular angle, so I don't mind that. And the display is 6 inches of an aspect ratio of 18:9. It's a quad HD display with a resolution of 2880 by 1440 with their P-OLED. They call it full vision, but it's just bezel-less design, basically like every other phone. And P-OLED, of course, it has some display issues, but I have not seen any of those in my normal day-to-day testing. And the battery is 3300 mAh, non-removable. I don't mind that, and as I said, the micro SD card is up to 2 terabytes. So the audio on this device is what really, really makes it for me. It has a hi-fi 32-bit quad DAC. This means your audio will turn out better than any other phone, including iPhone, which claims to have a good... So I have one here, has another LG, has a headphone jack. Definitely not as good of a headphone jack. Like, I switch from Bluetooth headphones. I have the LG Tone Pro that I got for free with the thing. I have the Wicked Raider Audio, I think it's called, Bluetooth headphones. I love Bluetooth. No wires. Well, like, barely any wires that you don't have to plug in. Other thing is, I switched to the headphones that came with it just because those are the ones that I have that actually work. And I love them to death. I use them almost every day so far. So, and then for that, it is IP68 dust and water resistant rating. Has a Bluetooth 5, but again, that just means a lot. And then there's Quick Charge 3.0, and then there are headphones that do come in the box, but they are called the Quad Play headphones, and they only come with a V30 Plus from Sprint. So again, what does come in the box? So in the V30 box, you immediately integrated with an LG branded microfiber cloth. So I can show that right over here. You're immediately greeted with a microfiber cloth branded with LG. And then right underneath that, you get your V30 second year promise. You go on there, and I think for a limited time, when you do it, you can get the Google J Dream VR for free. Then, underneath that, you are warranted with your SIM eject tool and your booklets. So you pop this open, and there are your booklets and stuff. And then you have your Quick Charge 3.0 and your USB-C cable to USB-A. And then underneath that, in the V30 Plus box, you have your hi-fi headphones that I believe are tuned by B&O Audio. I really don't know, because I haven't really gotten any confirmation on that one. So, now as for the design. Now, for that, I was pretty scared of having the device get scratched. But from what I can see, if I do zoom in on the phone, so let's just go through. I see fingerprints galore, but as you can see, I don't really notice going through, having the light shine on it. I don't notice any scratches, and if there are scratches, they're just micro scratches, so you won't really notice them. But I recommend a case and a screen protector for both sides, maybe, if you can get a both sides screen protector. But I recommend a case because at any time the glass can break, but at the same time, the screen protector so you don't scratch the front display. I recommend it for every phone no matter what. But this one's specifically a case because you don't want to crack the back, even though it says it's military grade or whatever they want to call it. So then also, I'm also not a fan of black design phones. But as for this, I think it looks nice, and I think it makes... I've seen this one literally looks sleeker than the blue version. I don't have the blue version, but I think this looks sleeker than the blue version. Now, the one thing that doesn't feel so premium is the fingerprint sensor. Now, another YouTuber did cover the fingerprint sensor. It is built into the... I understand it has to be more of a matte, but I've seen the Essential Phone build it into their back as a glass back panel. I've seen other companies test it out. And, I mean, I think that it feels a little cheap that it's built into the fingerprint sensor. I think they could have put the fingerprint sensor on the side, or the power button on the side like other phones. And then the fingerprint sensor would be like flush to the glass backing of the phone. But really, otherwise, the whole design of the phone makes up for this fact. The whole design really does make up for the fact of the fingerprint sensor. Now for the screen. During the duration of my testing, I have asked questions to other YouTubers. I asked them about a blue tint because of the Pixel 2 XL. And from my opinion, I feel you have to be looking at it at like a... I don't know how well you can notice it, but at a really weird angle to be able to notice it at all. And for me, that's nothing I want to do, because I really don't notice it. Like, I noticed at a blue angle, the blue tint at a really bad, really weird angle. So I really don't notice it. Like, if I go like this, you see how far back you have to be just to be able to get that blue shift? I'm not looking at a phone from this far away, like this angle. Like, you're looking at the same angle I'm looking at it as. And I'm not going to look at a phone with this angle. I'm going to look at it straight on or even a little bit sideways. I don't notice the blue tint. Like, I don't notice it on this phone unless you're really looking for it or you know what it is. So, colors on the phone look nice and vibrant, so you can be looking at any color you want. And I really think that they look vibrant. You can see over here. Colors, this is black. Look at that. It looks vibrant. And everything is just beautiful. And you can see it, the loading screen too. And for me, they all look very, very vibrant. Nothing wrong with the phone. I wish that they did have that Samsung thing where you can touch and hold. Because to me, that was cool. Instead of having to open up the power to swipe up and press it each time. So watching videos on the screen also looks very, very beautiful. So the performance during the time I did use it, I tried to make the phone stutter, but I failed. So the phone didn't stutter at all to me. I think it worked really well. The phone still stood up, didn't stutter once. Unless you're comparing a phone side by side, you won't notice me opening up Twitter, me opening up Facebook. As you can see, no matter what, these are all very, very fast. I can open up Spotify. Now I'm going to click clear all here, and as you can see, that's fast. I can click this, that's fast. I can swipe down, that's also fast. Swipe up, swipe, 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 swipe down. Search, nope, fast. So, that is fast. The phone feels really snappy, and opening fast definitely are fast. I have my Quartz, ZTE Quartz watch connected to it, and through Bluetooth, and I get all the notifications that come right from my phone onto my watch at all times, and that's all without fail. I also pair Bluetooth headphones to it every day, or at least I used to, and it connects in a couple of seconds without having to do any pairing again. And I can open up all apps that I've like tested, racing games, social media, really fast without noticing being slow. And the sound never cut out on me yet. So the sound of this device is something that once I heard it, I did go crazy over. I was originally like, I don't know, headphone jacks usually sound good enough. But then, once I heard the headphone jack here, I'm like, I need this. Oh my gosh. So, the headphone jack, as I said, is a hi-fi quad DAC digital audio converter, meaning that all the sound coming out of the headphone jack sounds better than any other audio jack out there. A hi-fi DAC really does sound great. I own a pair of Bluetooth headphones. Right now I prefer the wireless ones, right now only because of the DAC. The DAC can make any headphones sound good. So if you have a cheapo pair of headphones, it will still sound just as good. But if you want to get the full effect, use hi-fi headphones or a high-quality pair. The Bluetooth sound is also really good. It has aptX built into it, aptX HD. They integrate it without having to have Android 8. And I think it's awesome. Pairing to a speaker sounds great with nothing ever going wrong. I'm greatly disappointed about the single-firing speaker, though. Because with having such a great headphone sound, you would think they would work on their speaker, but no. Very disappointed as they advertise great headphone sound. Sounds like any other bottom-firing speaker would sound like. It has no came out the bass and nothing to get excited over. It is okay if you are by yourself, but if you spend $13 on a cheap speaker, Bluetooth speaker, even pocket-sized one, I think that would sound better as long as it's not like a bad one and it does sound good. So I'm going to play a song here. I'll open up my music player. I will play some song or so that I have loaded, and we'll listen to it.
Will I cry? Will I leave behind?
Now, I did skip through some songs, but it does sound okay. Sounds loud like any other speaker. But I really do think you should definitely think about getting yourself a pair of Bluetooth speakers or something. Maybe some cheap pair, $13, cylinder, small, something like that. So that's the speaker situation. I mean, it's not the worst, but it could be better. Now onto that camera. I have no complaints. Has a rear resolution, as I said, of 16 megapixel for the main sensor, 16 megapixel with f1.6 and an f1.9 13 megapixel wide angle shooter with some sensor here for laser autofocus, which was, I think, the G3 they had, or G4 was where they said the gimmick of the phone, which was really fast autofocus versus any phone at the time. And then the flash, which is pretty big. Well, powerful, strong, light. So, I love this camera a ton because it really captures the quality of any image and also captures detail really well. The color may not be as vibrant as some may be used to on a Samsung device. Like, Samsung really oversaturates their images sometimes. So, in terms of that, it may not be as vibrant, but in terms of what I've seen, it has the best color reproduction out there. So, what you're looking at now on your screen, like, if you were to take a picture, you'll notice that sometimes colors pop. That doesn't look like the same in real life. This one does a true to real life, I say, thing. So, I love the fact that they're in such a low aperture, so you can get close to an image that you want to capture while still getting them, or the object, in focus. Secondary camera's wide angle is a nice feature to add over zoom on a device. Granted, I've never actually used zoom while taking a photo, as I just move closer to the object. The wide-angle camera is something of use. I like the fact that they're trying to capture landscape of any sort. You do not have to worry about being able to get far enough away or just not being able to capture enough of the landscape. Because you can just press the wide-angle option on the camera and literally just capture more. I also have not noticed any loss in image quality while this was selected, resulting in a very vibrant picture and really sharp-looking objects. The video performance is also awesome. The quality of that looks really good. The option to go wide-angle in the middle of recording is awesome too. Image stabilization is great. When I first shut out the camera, I was shaking because I was just excited to use the camera, but during that time I recorded, I was shaking. I looked back at the footage on my computer after I was done to review the footage, and I didn't notice any real shaking in the video. Just maybe the camera moving up and down, but not noticeable at all. So right now, I did take some pictures. I posted them on Twitter, but I will pop up those pictures I did take now.
You and I till the end, don't need to pretend again and again. We'll stick together. Everything is alright with you by my side. We won't say goodbye. We'll stick together.
The video quality is actually really good. Hee hee. Just gonna hear this after. Focus, focus, focus. Umbrella. Wet umbrella. Yeah, that needs to be replaced badly. Or, whoa. Oh god. Vibrant colors. And to zoom. It really makes vibrant colors. Strong, but I love this video. Strong wind video is great. I'm going back and forth. My hand by myself is shaking a little, but you can definitely hear me out. Front-facing video, on the other hand, is disappointing. This is facing outdoors. You can see it's grainy, even when the other video wasn't grainy, so it's disappointing. Otherwise, the hi-fi itself does pick up my my voice. I have to look down here. I'm just not used to that yet. So the hi-fi does sound good on the audio itself. Otherwise, it's disappointing.
So battery life. The battery life on this phone is awesome. Some days I get 6 hours of screen on time, and other days I get 7 to 8. I would start my day at 5 a.m. I spend my day waking up, watching a YouTube video or two as I get ready for the day, then putting on my Bluetooth headphones and listening to music for about an hour. This was more in the beginning of when I started using this phone too. So then now it does the same sort of effect with all the apps I have loaded on here. Then I would get to school and the phone would sit for about 2 hours. Well, then I would put on my headphones and listen for about an hour or an hour and a half. Then I would get to school and would sit for about 2 hours not being used. But bear in mind, I'm also in a room where I don't get service in the basement of the place. But then I would make a call for about 30 minutes to a friend, then watch another YouTube video, and then play a game. I would use it for a while after that, and I would take pictures during this time too. By about 12 a.m. that night of using the phone all day, sending texts, browsing the web, playing games, watching YouTube videos, making calls, the phone has about like 10% left. Feature that I like most here is battery saving. LG uses their own battery saver, which I said a ton before in different videos about battery, where they have the regular power saver mode and the ultimate power saver, which saves battery percent not only by 3 hours but by 6 hours or so. I'm not too sure about their ratio of how they determine that, so I'm just saying about double the battery life basically is what it seems like to me. This is awesome when even if your battery is full, you need to last all day and then some. So you turn on ultra battery saving mode, you can save a ton of battery. You still receive text and calls, but the only thing that you do receive those texts and calls, but the only thing that you don't receive is a lot of notifications. But otherwise, it's great. So I love some of the features that LG packed into their devices. The one feature they took out and added to the software was secondary display. I don't like the software button. I don't plan on using it anytime soon, so secondary button, you literally go into your settings of your device, scroll down till you get to display, and somewhere down here, you will see somewhere around here, you'll see floating bar somewhere around here. So as you see, I have it off, but you can turn it on, and you can move it around. You can also remove it. You can move it to any side, but what it does, literally the same exact thing that the secondary display did on the V30, I mean the V20 and stuff. Otherwise, I don't use it that much. I really don't like the softer buttons. Always the sans display is nice for me though. That's the one thing that I love. I customize it to my own. As you can see the pizza there. It's practical and functional, and as you can see, I can swipe so I get all of my quick toggles. I can turn on without having to turn on the device. I can open up camera, do like a quick capture, Wi-Fi, mute the phone and Bluetooth, and I can, if I had Spotify open or something, I can play my music through control. So instead of opening up the device, swipe, ta-da. And it also see what notifications you get, so I can see I have notifications. But I can see when one comes in, and I can see if I need to look at it right now or not. And the water, and when you put it in your pocket, the proximity sensor covers up, stops, you can't even double tap it to turn it on or something, so you have no accidental touches. Now, it's a nice addition to the phone. It's something I use all the time. The hi-fi DAC is an option I use all the time also, so that's like an added feature I would say, because no phone has the hi-fi DAC. Now, another nice option is a waterproofing. It's a big deal for me since the iPhone 7 has it, and this phone is around the same price, maybe even more than it, and that is an option that I utilize on the daily. Smart cleaning is something that you would find in the settings on the phone, any phone really, and it cleans the RAM and also cleans the temp and cache in the phone, and there's also a gaming option. So that allows you to tap when you're in a game. You can tap it and you can take a break, you can take a screenshot, you can adjust the game graphics, so if you want to run heavily on the phone, you can do that, and that's really that. And then smart settings is another option, where if you were to enter in headphones, or you were to use Bluetooth or something, then what would happen is, as you can see here, I'll unlock the device, I'll put in some fake headphones, blah blah blah, wait for it, it automatically opened up Spotify for me. Now, I love that all the time. I've set it up to either open an app, or if you're in a location, change the settings. So if you turn on Bluetooth and connect your speaker or headphones, whichever you have set up, it will open up whatever app you have set up. And you haven't set up Spotify. Or if you use location, you can have it turn off Bluetooth or turn it on, or even turn off Wi-Fi on or off if you choose so, depending on your location. So that's another option that I definitely utilize on the daily, is those options. And now, some people really don't like this UI. I don't mind it. Once I turned off LG's home, so here's what the regular home screen looked like. So, by default, they have this on. Like, where's the app drawer? All of my apps are listed over here. I don't like this iPhone-esque style. If I wanted the iPhone-esque style, I would have just bought myself an iPhone or downloaded a third-party launcher. Like, most people complain about this when they get it. I like this. So you have your app drawer. And I really don't mind it. So I would say it looks close to stock, closer to any other higher phone. And I think with this theme, it's the closest. And with this theme, I have not seen a single lag on this theme. Now, is this the phone for you? Yes and no. It all depends what you like in a phone. If you like Samsung, go with them. If you like LG, go with this phone. It's really all preference. As for me, liking any phone I get my hands on, I would definitely go with this phone, because of the features that it has. I like the wide angle camera, and I also like the form factor and how light it is. I love the form factor not being as wide or as big as a Samsung phone makes it feel really nice in the hand for a 6-inch display. I love how everything on this phone is focused on getting the best audio out of the mic and DAC. For me, this is my next daily driver. So basically, if you're recording a video, it uses the headphone jack, the earpiece, and all the mics around it. So, do I recommend this for you? Yes. If you are looking for a new phone and are looking for anything, get this phone for sure. And I love this phone. It is the best I've picked up in a couple of months versus any of the high-end phones that I've tried, even my friends' phones. And I think it's a little better than the Pixel. I personally think this is a little better. I like the whole glass design versus what the Pixel feels like. But I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, please sure to hit that subscribe button if it is red. Also, make sure to hit that bell icon so you're notified of future videos, and hit that like button and tell me down below how you think of the phone. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.